What's poppin', people? It's Dante. This morning I'm thinking about this very simple idea, a mindset to adopt as a street photographer. So the idea is your next photograph is your best photograph, right? What I like to do when I'm on the streets is completely detach myself from the outcome, from the result of the photographs that I'm making. This way, I never get burnt out from practicing street photography. What I need to emphasize here is it's very difficult to achieve a photograph that cohesively describes your vision. And what I mean by this is including not only the composition, the emotional impact, the layering, the moment, the timing, the characters involved, the subject, the story. There's so many different elements that you can combine in a photograph that are difficult to achieve each and every day. This is something that comes far and few between if this is your goal. If your goal is ultimately to make great photographs, you must realize that it's going to take a lot of time. And because it's going to take us a lot of time to make these kind of photographs, I believe the mindset that we adopt is so critical. And so for the past 2 years, over 2 years now, I've been experimenting with a completely new process. And actually, if I show you here, if I unlock my iPad, I've made 250,000 images in the past 2 years. And I can even scroll like pretty much all the way back in my Photos app to when I started this process, which will take quite some time. I believe the first few months I didn't catalog it, but you'll still see what I'm talking about. All right, so when we go all the way back to the beginning, I essentially haven't missed a day of photographing in 2 years. And you can see here, every single day I've been making photographs. There might have been a few days out of the entire 2 years that I missed a day of making photographs. And the entire time, I just kept pushing forward. I just kept moving onward. I just kept making the photos. Like, I'm not looking back and dwelling on these photos. In the recent videos that I've been making, I've been looking back at old work, and it's very easy for me to do so because I've already made the basic selections that I know are good. But looking through this work, this is gonna be a completely different story. I have, so yeah, as you can see, I've been going for, the 2 years. And yeah, you can see like just a few examples that I've pulled out. And the crazy thing to recognize about this new work, there might only be like 10 photos out of the 250,000 that are up to my standards of what I deem to be good. And so I think that fact alone is something that a lot of photographers don't necessarily recognize early on, is the fact that you're gonna have to make a lot of photos. And so these are just random examples. These are just like some of the early selections that I've made. And I'm sure that there's other photos in my catalog that I think are good or whatever. But these are just the random ones I threw in here for whatever reason. Not really sure. They're just in a folder. But I really haven't made many selections. If anything, I'm most proud of the one with the gun in the background, and even this photograph that I made. This was the first photograph I made in my new process. And so, what's the point? It's so many photos. Like, I just have photos photos all on the wall, photos all over the place. It's a stream of becoming. The photographic process is about moving onwards, pressing the shutter more, making more photographs. And while you hear my thoughts about what makes a good photo, while you hear my thoughts about my standards being extremely high and how I've made 250,000 photos and there might only be 10, that are good, I'm not thinking about that as I'm going out and practicing my photography. I'm going out there and I'm enjoying the process in the moment itself. I'm detached from the outcome, from the results. I mean, as you can see, I haven't made, like those examples I showed you are extremely random. I haven't made any selections from my new body of work. And it's been over 2 years of me going out there and going out there and going out there. And that's where we want to be. We want to be so immersed in the process, detached completely from the outcome, that we let go and simply enter this flow of production. We enter this stream of becoming, ever going out there into the world with our cameras, making pictures in the spirit of play, detached from the results and the outcome of what the photographs may be. And this, to me, is the most important mindset shift, is to detach from the outcome and to recognize that your next photograph is your best photograph. And that, that's kind of like the point, right? The point is to shift your mindset to, instead of dwelling on what you believe to be a good photo and dwelling on the results of the photographs, if you treat each click of the shutter, if you treat each day of you going out there and practicing your photography as the next opportunity to make your best photo, it's like a lifeline, right? Where the next photograph you make is your lifeline. It's like this stream of you going out there and saying yes, and chipping away at life and getting closer and closer to those moments that you deem to be the best. And so the mindset shift is, your next photograph is your best photograph, not the photograph you made yesterday. Maybe that, to me, is what's fueling me and what's giving me this ability to go out there each and every day, nonstop, without missing a day, for over 2 years straight, and not looking back. Like, I'm not looking back because I know today I'm gonna make my best photo. And so the mindset shift, to me, has been fueling me, and hopefully something here can fuel you with more positive, affirming thoughts when on the streets. Here comes my bus, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes my bus, and I say, Benjamin Franklin Bridge.